And we begin with breaking news on the China relationship, a breakthrough on trade tariffs. Let's go live to our senior political reporter, Trudy McIntosh. Trudy, we're just getting across this story and there's going to be a news conference shortly from Penny Wong, the Foreign Minister. What can you tell us?
Well, Simon, Sky News has confirmed that China has agreed to drop these tariffs that had been placed on Australian barley since back in 2020. This breakthrough considered to be pretty big from the Australian side. They've confirmed this is happening. I've spoken to sources in the government here. There's also a statement that's come out from the Chinese Commerce Ministry confirming that effective from tomorrow, the 80% tariffs that had been on Australian barley will no longer be in place. It's important to remember the history here. These were part of the $20 billion worth of trade sanctions slapped on Australian exporters as a part of this tit for tat in 2020 when there was concern about Australia pushing for an inquiry into the origins of COVID-19. Barley, one of many exports caught up in that diplomatic spat that was happening between the two governments. This has been considered crucial for the next step. The Prime Minister has been invited to go to China to meet with President Xi Jinping. He's been reluctant to lock in a date because they wanted to see progress when it comes to the trade sanctions. So good news on the way for Australia's barley exporters. We had taken this to the World Trade Organisation, but in March this year, the Australian government suspended that WTO probe. China was doing a quick review into this. That review has been finished and now they've clearly decided to lift these sanctions. I'm also told we will get an update at this press conference too when it comes to what's happening for the wine market in Australia. They've also been caught up in these big tariffs. The Trade Minister, Don Farrell, has been trying to negotiate to get those sanctions lifted as well. I'm told we can expect an update on wine, but not necessarily that there's been any big breakthrough with China. But just to recap that, for barley exporters, this is a big breakthrough, China deciding to remove these tariffs that had been in place.